How's it going, everybody? I am DeanoGTO, and today we're looking at the EBR 105, the Tier 10 French light tank slash armored car slash wheeled vehicle. I'm going to call it an armored car because I feel like that's probably the best descriptor for this thing, because calling it a light tank feels wrong because it doesn't have tracks. Calling it a wheeled vehicle seems like it'll get really annoying really quick, so armored car or just car is what I'm going to call it because it's just far easier. Now, couple of things I want to just mention about this thing is it's the fastest vehicle in mortar tanks at 95 kilometers an hour in a straight line while in the speed mode, and in reverse this thing is actually quicker than a Sheridan. In reverse it's faster than a Sheridan. Like, that's absolutely just insane to think of, because the Sheridan, I believe, top speed is 65 kilometers an hour. That's the forward speed in the Sheridan, and this thing is faster than it. Yeah, 65 kilometers an hour. And the EBR is faster than it in reverse. I mean, that's just insane to think of. This is such an unbelievably quick vehicle. Like, hell, even in the traverse mode, like, or the turning mode, this thing is nearly as quick as a T100 LT. And it's faster than the Sheridan yet again. The only light tank this thing is really significantly slower than is the Ramtown Panzerwagen. And even that's 5 kilometers an hour. Not really that big of a difference in my opinion, but yeah, it's pretty crazy to think of just how quick these vehicles actually are. And I think the reason why Wargaming made the travel mode versus the speed mode, I think the reason why they split it up into two separate modes is because trying to balance these things out, if they were able to turn as quickly as they turn in the sort of traverse mode, in comparison to the speed mode, if they were able to turn like they can in the turning mode, but going at the speed that they go in the speed mode, these things would either be upside down or rolling over continuously, or they would be absolutely impossible to hit. Plus, they would be incredibly difficult to drive because the driving mechanics feel very different between the two modes, and personally I think driving in the speed mode is actually more comfortable, but the traverse mode is absolutely insane when it comes to just how quickly you're able to maneuver the vehicle around and just avoid shots and things like that. These vehicles are just these things are incredible to drive, and I really do think people should test these things out. And there's actually been some rumors saying that, you know, the EBR 75, I think it was called, the one that's going to be like the tier 8 premium for this line. There's been some theories saying that that might be a marathon vehicle, which I think would be very cool. Like, that would actually be a very interesting way of them actually releasing a vehicle like this for everybody to obtain. Like, if it's actually obtainable for free, and it's actually like a extended time period you can actually grind for in order to get it, then I think that's actually a really good thing for them to do. But I hope hopefully they do more of a Carnarvon Action X style marathon than a SU-130 PM style marathon. If they do that, that's just been some like theories people have been throwing out there. So one more thing I wanted to quickly mention before I jump into battle is I'm using the premium sort of equipment here at the moment. I'm using the improved rammer, improved vents, and improved cooled optics. Now the reason I'm using that there is because that actually gets me up to 460 meters view range, and I'm just going to say, like, without using the food consumable, there's only one way for you to actually reach the full maximum view range. So if I do that, you only get 440 meter view range, and that's with situational awareness and recon trained to 100% with Brothers in Arms and every crew member. And you only get 440 meter view range because this thing only has a base view range of 350 meters. So yeah, the only way to actually get up to 445 is to use this. That gets you up to the 445 and only just manages to get you up to it. So yeah, it's pretty crazy to see just how much you have to actually put onto the tank and just how good your crew has to be in order to get up to that sort of view range cap. Now if you take all these bits off here and replace them with the standard versions and have the food consumable on, that gets you up to 445 meter view range as well, with the Brothers in Arms, Recon, and Situational Awareness crew as well, just so you're aware. So now that I've kind of explained just how good your crew has to be in order to really make full use of this thing's incredible just mobility and active scouting capabilities, pretty much is what I'm trying to get across to you. Yeah, these vehicles are just going to have such a big impact on like the way the game's played at the moment. And I'm going to show you here just how different the vehicle drives in the speed mode in comparison to the traverse mode. The game I'm going to play is probably not going to be particularly good. I'll be honest with you right now, because these vehicles are going to take a wee bit of getting used to and a wee bit of working out to try and figure out how best to actually play them. Because they're active scouts. That's one thing that's been like set in stone. They are active scouts because they can't even use binoculars, which is a really good call on Wargaming's part, in my opinion. So it's going to take a wee while to actually get used to like how to drive them, what sort of routes you should take and what sort of routes you should avoid. Because if you take a route that is, I'm going to turn the chat off in advance actually, just because I just remembered how annoying it can be just to have a bunch of people talking in the chat while you're trying to record. So yeah, you're going to have to try and just learn the routes to take and whereabouts to go on maps to try and avoid flipping your tank over and just basically just making balls of things. So, or just like balls and things up and just like dying really early on in the game, because that's something that happens quite commonly at the moment on the test server. But you can see just how quickly this thing is able to turn with the travel mode on. I mean, this thing turns on a dime. Can you imagine doing this at 95 kilometers an hour? Your tank would either end up on its side or it would just be on its roof all the time. And oh yeah, I keep forgetting. For some reason, at the moment, oh yeah, that's right, enhanced, what do you call it? I forgot his name. Auto aim. I always forget about that there. Like, all you have to do is like sort of right click near a tank and it'll automatically auto aim onto it. And wow, that was a big hit on that 13105. And another thing actually I didn't actually mention about this tank there is this tank has incredible gun stabilization. It basically means you can fire on the move and have a way higher chance of hitting a target than you do with pretty much any other tank in the game. Plus, when it comes to light tank guns, this technically has, in my opinion, the best overall gun. Because it has 390 meters, or no, not 390 meters, 390 damage. And it has 190 pen, isn't it? 190? Yeah, 190. So, it's got a really versatile gun. It has decent accuracy at 0.38 base. But with my setup, I think it has about 0.33 accuracy. Which is really, really good considering the type of vehicle this is. And the fact it's a light tank, and light tanks typically have absolutely just garbage accuracy ratings. I mean, the only one that has a better accuracy rating than this is the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen, but that tank is considered to be by far the shittiest of the light tanks in the game at the moment. So, in fact, this thing actually has a decent gun, and it's fast as well. Like, this thing pretty much makes the Panzerwagen irrelevant. Because the Panzerwagen has worse alpha damage than this, granted it has a better rate of fire, but yeah, the Panzerwagen just seems like such a worthless vehicle at this point in the game. Like, I'm just like, why on earth would... Did I just do what I think I just did? Did I just make that guy accidentally kill his teammate? I think I did. Oh my god, that's amazing. If that actually is what happened, I'm going to have to watch that replay back and see what actually happened with that, because I think I just got that guy to accidentally kill his teammates. That's amazing. Oh shit. Oh, that's not good. I was so just busy just laughing about that there that I didn't even think about where I was going. And I think I'm about to just die here. Oh, never mind. I just about managed to survive there. Let's hope that this thing's just insane speed allows me to actually get to that little bit of area there where I can drive out of the water. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Wow, I almost just Derpenberged. Very, very nearly just did it. Damn, that was way closer than I'm comfortable with, but yeah, that was pretty fucking funny. So, let's try and drive about here and just look for an opportunity to annoy some of the enemy vehicles and see if I can annoy the enemy artillery in particular, because I think trying to get rid of the enemy artillery would be very, very useful. Plus, the enemy artillery is very unlikely to actually be able to do anything to me. And I want to go into this traverse mode so you can just see how quickly this thing is able to actually move around. I feel like most people driving these tanks forget about the traverse mode, because the speed mode's so goddamn useful. But the traverse mode's amazing. You're able to just turn around. Ah, wow. Ah, no. The 13105, I forgot about him. But yeah, I have the advantage in a head-to-head gunfight if I'm able to dictate the terms of it. So yeah, like this thing here in a one-on-one fight with most other light tanks, I would honestly say this thing's a lot more likely to win in most scenarios because first off, it's able to traverse so well, and second thing is it just seems to be far more consistent when it comes to its just gun handling and just its overall usability. But even in a tank as quick as this, I don't think I'm going to be able to get back in time to actually reset the cap. Oh, never mind. It looks like the enemy tanks drove out of the cap circle, which is an interesting choice. We will see if that bites them in the ass or not in this game. Let's see. So, am I spotted at this point? Because if oh, yeah, I am. I was about to say, because if I'm not, then I will just sit back here and shoot them in the back, but I am spotted, which means I should not try to do that. I feel like that guy's looking my direction, but I'm just going to try and kill this Grill 15 if I can. Because the Grill 15 is going to be annoying as hell if I don't get rid of him. And I didn't even see that guy. Yeah, that was my bad for not actually paying attention to what the hell was happening around me. But yeah, this thing here, it's going to have a big impact on the way the game is played. And I think honestly, people who master who master changing between the modes, like changing between speed mode and the traverse mode, holy shit, they're going to be good. Like this thing, I think this thing might be one of the highest like skill cap vehicles in the game. Like once it's put in. I'm honestly really excited to head down towards this thing. It's been a while, like other than the 60TP, like 60TP was a bit of an exception to the rule, but for the most part when Wargaming introduces a new tier 10, I'll kind of like passively grind down towards it. The 60TP, which was the last tier 10 I believe that was introduced, was a bit of an exception. I was actually really excited to get down that line and try and get down as quickly as possible because the Polish vehicles just seem so cool to me and seemed like really interesting. I'm honestly shocked. I think 2 lines in a row they've given me a tier 10 which I really wanted to like grind towards and get as quick as possible, because the Progetto and the Swedish tier 10s, I just didn't really care all that much about them. They were cool, but I didn't really want to go for them. And when it came to things like the Object 277, when it was originally shown on the test server, I was like, oh wow, this thing's going to be insanely OP. But then when it reached the live server, I was just kind of like, not really caring too much about it. And then the 430U, I kind of expected to be nerfed within like 2 patches, but tempted to go for it, but also at the same time, by the time I unlock it, it's going to be nerfed, so kind of don't want to go for it at the same time, so yeah, it was just an interesting conundrum, especially with the 430U. But yeah, this vehicle here is just going to be an absolute just game changer. This thing is going to completely change the way people have to play whenever they're in battles, because you could just get spotted at any time from anywhere and you wouldn't really, like, there's a good chance you wouldn't even know, because this thing has a 40%, I think it is, yeah, 45% camo rating. Which means this thing here, if your view range is 400 meters, this thing is going to negate 45% of that view range. So this thing can get within, so as an example, if we were to say the camera rating on this thing's 40%, then with a 400 meter view range tank, like trying to spot this, I think this thing could probably get within, I think it's 240, or like this thing can get to 240 meters before getting spotted. Which is just incredible to think of. Like, that's absolutely just ludicrous. So, yeah, this vehicle is going to be a game changer. It is 100% going to just change the way the game is played. Like, I'm really looking forward to how worried artillery is going to have to be after this thing is introduced, because artillery has been way too comfortable for way too long after the light tanks kind of became shit. So the fact that something this fast and this maneuverable is now in the game, artillery is now going to have to actually move around and try to actually remain concealed. Because right now artillery just sits in one corner of the map, or one like square of the map most of the time, moves 20 meters between each shot to avoid counter battery, and that's all they do. Now artillery's actually going to have to pay attention to what's happening on the map and not just focused one tank for the entirety of the game until it's dead, because that's currently what they do. Like currently that is just what artillery does. Artillery will just focus one vehicle and only that vehicle for the entirety of a battle until it's dead, and then they will eventually switch targets. But artillery will have to actually pay attention now, because they can't get away with just not looking at the map anymore. Because if they don't look at the map, they're going to die. Simple as that. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how these things impact the game and the way the meta changes in regards to it. I will acknowledge these things are going to cause a lot of problems for heavy tank drivers like me, but I think the challenge will be interesting. I will say that. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this video in the comment section below. What do you guys think these things are actually going to do to the game's meta? Personally, I think this thing can only do good things to the game's meta, and I'm really looking forward to driving these things. I'm really looking forward to driving these things, and I'm going to start grinding XP as soon as I log on tomorrow. I'm going to start grinding XP on the ELC AMX just to try and get the tier 6 in this line as quick as possible, because if the tier 10 is this much fun to drive, then I think these lower tier vehicles are going to be pretty spectacular as well. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of this video in the comment section below. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I will see you in the next one.